We hit the top. Now a lot has happened with this little back and forth between Meek Mill and Akademiks, and basically we had to talk about it. Now I would have done other videos beforehand, but these niggas just kept going back and forth and back and forth. It's different between the Yes Jules and Kanye situation. That's still going on, but she just being defiant about whatever she's owed or whatever she has to pay, which that's even confusing. Honestly, at this point, you shouldn't do business with Kanye. Anywho, besides all that, we had to talk about this. The first beef was this whole Philly bullshit, and apparently Ack was, I don't know, Ack started out with a lawsuit with Diddy and Lil Rod. Wild name. Besides that, um, that was going on. Meek was like in the affidavit, or not named, but it was like Redacted 5, a rapper who went out with Nicki Minaj. Like, come on, bro. We're gonna think it's Meek Mill. Like, at this point, like, he was sitting there crazy. Like, what do you mean? It's like, gang. Come on, gang. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Anyways, so with that and like the pictures of you being at Diddy's party, y'all were matching outfits, yada yada yada. Anyways, Akademiks was getting his jokes off. I don't think a lot of people were heavily covering it at the time. Meek took offense to it. They were going back and forth on Twitter, yada yada yada. They kept going back and forth. Ack was like, by the way, I really gotta go finish that Dean interview. I'm not gonna lie. I really gotta go finish that Dean interview. Anyways, Akademiks was there interviewing people from Philly who are not too fond of Meek, Poundside Pop, his friend Dean. I think Quilly he interviewed recently as well. So like, and probably there's some other Philly people he's gonna interview as well. With that being said, that is going on so far. Then later on, Meek was like, oh, I want to do, there was like an exchange between him and Poundside Pop. I really don't understand the beef that nigga has on Poundside Pop. I'm sorry, I mispronounced his name. I'm confused. It makes no sense. And is it really true you try to sign that nigga to Dream Chasers for like fucking 20K for like 7 albums? That's crazy as hell. I really want to know Warriors deal at this point, because yo, there's some crazy metrics. I heard you try to offer like Pressa a deal, you try to offer Cowboy a deal. I don't know what was going on with them situations, but hey. Besides all that, we had you want to start a podcast. Ack was talking to you. You had like some low back and forth on that. Of course, Ack on the streams was making fun of you, like you're not part of the reform, yada yada yada. And he's just been making it all about you and going in on you. So now it gets to that point where apparently it says, I'm reading this article right now, Meek Mill speaks out on his decision to finally block DJ Akademiks. First of all, you have blocked DJ Akademiks. You know this nigga has fan pages, or honestly, like, fans in general that will screenshot and send them the tweet. So, sure, he personally can go on your page. But one of his, like, fan accounts, one of his peoples that you don't know is his peoples can go on his page. You can take his homeboy phone who has his own account and just go on your page. So yeah, okay, but it ain't really gonna do anything. But anyways, let's proceed. Last month, I don't even say it was last month. I guess it was last month. I guess it feels like a couple of weeks to me. But anyways, DJ Akademiks was at the center of a rumor that accused Meek Mill of having a sexual encounter with Diddy. It originated from a lawsuit filed against the rap mogul, which Akademiks leaked. Akademiks did not leak it. I swear that shit was put out, bro. That shit did not get leaked. Anyways, calling Meek out in the process. That served as an inception point for weeks of beef between the two. They argued over seemingly anything online. The two went back and forth on Twitter repeatedly over a variety of issues, but the beef may finally have come to a close. That's because Meek took to Twitter to reveal that he's finally blocked DJ Akademiks. This one Meek says, okay, it's over, y'all. I wanted to see how many days I could make a bad geek lose sleep, lol. I blocked him, he said in a tweet made overnight. It came attached with a picture that shows him blocking the streamer after he made a post comparing Philly to Gotham City. While Meek was able to block the streamer himself, Axe fans still showed up in the replies underneath the post, trying to continue to bait Meek into more arguments. Let me see. I get what Meek's saying, and honestly, I don't think, bro, like in general, like let's talk biases aside, I don't think the nigga should follow Akademiks. There's other platforms you could go on or follow. Of course, Ak is one of the big platforms in this hip hop media thing, But in general, you don't need Akademiks in general. Now, I will say this. Regardless if you block him or not, somebody gotta handle Meek Mill's social media. I don't know what this nigga be doing. Because the whole Diddy thing, like, again, I don't think Meek Mill's gay. Or is in the closet, if you will. But just the way he tweets, he just will have a point and just say some other bullshit. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, someone really has to handle that nigga Twitter. I ain't gonna lie. That nigga social media, he needs a social media coach. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't know who does it, bro. He really needs to fix that. But besides all that shit, if he wants to block Ak. Now, I didn't know they had like a truce or a ceasefire or whatever, so Ak wasn't trying to interview no Philly people he had issues with. But it is what it is at this point. Hey, if this nigga went back, it is what it is now. I don't know. This is just a weird situation. And like, see, the only thing I'm kind of defending Ak here is, like, Ak did not come and say you was gay. And niggas got their jokes off, bro. Like, come, it's kind of crazy to hear like, bro, niggas was gonna get their jokes off. Like, we not gonna act like niggas wasn't gonna get their jokes off. Like, come on, bro. Like, and stop going to Diddy parties if you don't want this niggas to let the jokes fly. That's all you really gotta do. But anyways, earlier this week, Ak took the pair's beef in a strange direction. He made Meek $1 million. Oh yeah, that's the podcast thing I was talking about. I'm not really gonna go into this again, but yeah, honestly, it's just I don't know. And then Meek, you also threatened the niggas like you was doing all that shit, bro. Like, come on, bro. At some point, like, regardless if you sitting here, you trying to spin the angle or the narrative, it's like, bro, you made this thing, you was doing all this shit, and regardless, and Ak be do talking a lot. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, this nigga don't talk a lot. This nigga sometimes he might say some shit that piss you off. I'm not gonna sit here and act like he does not do that. He doesn't try to offend anybody or doesn't offend people. But with that being said, bro, you was tweaking on him when you didn't need to. You act like this nigga was the one that filed the lawsuit. No, it was the fucking Lil Rod. So that's why I was like, yeah, he was doing a little too much. I ain't gonna lie. He was doing a little too much. But it's just, if you block him, man, that gives you peace of mind, that school gang. But at the end of the day, and like this article says, his fans is in there. You got people that gonna send him the shit. You got fans, like, come on, bro. Like, what is you really doing? It is what it is at the end of the day. And you blocked him on Twitter. Hopefully you blocked him on all the other fucking platforms as well, not just Twitter. Because if that was the case, you didn't really do anything at that point. But yeah, man, what do y'all feel about this? At this point, this shit, man, listen. Meek Mill, and regardless, bro, Meek Mill, again, don't know who controls this nigga's social media. He needs a social media team. This nigga, when he's on Twitter fingers mode, is hilarious. What? This nigga, man, this nigga's funny as hell when he's on that Twitter finger bullshit. I ain't gonna lie to you. But yeah, besides all that, bro, it is what it is at this point. Even if you block the nigga gonna see your page. You gonna get some of his shit off. Nigga's gonna send it to you what he said. Like, come on, bro. This is social, like, that ain't just gonna go away. It's not like you block that nigga number and he can't call you, gang. And even if that was the case, still, a nigga knows a nigga who knows a nigga that could get back to you. But yeah. Besides all that, what do you feel about all the happenings and going ons with this thing? Hey, if it's done at this point, hey, thank you. Because that shit just made no sense. And Meek, if you have beef with them people in your city, it is what it is. And hey, you might not like Ak, but hey. And also, sorry, I almost closed the video out. Yo, you and that nigga Dean, like, bro, again, y'all was cool, bro. Like, yo, y'all piece that shit up. I don't think that shit is that serious. Y'all piece that shit up, bro. Because if you mad that nigga interviewing niggas because you went off on him over the shit, bro, you should have just said, hey, yo, I was tweaking. I thought you, like, fabricated that shit. It wasn't you. You was reported on it. It is what it is. But, like, hey, gang, nigga want to go interview them boys, and them boys said what they said in the interview, and you mad at the nigga, bro. Come on now. You doing a little too much. Well, besides all that, man, what do y'all think? Comments down below. Links in the description. Friendly Neighborhood K.A. signing off for today. The Black TJ Deadweiler doing this thing. My name ring bells like Quasimodo. Hit like, subscribe, try to hit a little bit more to hear me. I'm gone. Shalom, zoom, peace, y'all, gang. Aye.